Hey everybody, it's Masani Wearable Art. So today was a very interesting day. I started it off on a good foot, as my brother James Brown would say. Ah, I gotta tell you, it is so worth being alive today. I am so grateful, 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 grateful to be up and moving and chosen to wake up. So today I had a beautiful class with my beautiful people. I actually love teaching. I actually taught when I was at the Police Athletic League when I was in college. Summer jobs I taught at the Police Athletic League. But I taught children that were in very challenging homes, like, abusive homes. And I got to tell you, one of the things when I was younger that turned me off from teaching is when I was teaching at the Police Athletic League, and a lot of the children were being abused. And I remember my students having marks on their bodies and like not being fed properly. Being a teacher, you extend yourself. So I used to get them lunch, some of them lunch, and I would get them ice cream when the ice cream truck came. And I wasn't really making that much when I was younger. You know what I mean? Working for the summer program. But I understand when somebody needs help. And a lot of the children were in very challenging homes where they were not being catered to properly or taken care of properly. So they were under abuse. And I think, honestly, that's one of the things that basically turned me off, because as a person who is very emotional, I felt helpless. And I remember going to one of the teachers and expressing what I saw with a couple of the children, not just one, with the bruises on the back. A lot of them were being abused. And the other teacher told me, well, if you say anything or report it, that the child could be taken out of the home and put in child welfare. So one of the big things that changed my decision about being a teacher was the helplessness of seeing abuse and not doing anything about it. I felt like I was part of the problem. And all of the other teachers I was going to for advice would tell me to keep your mouth shut, don't say anything, because there's nothing you can really, really do. And I believed them. I tried, as best I could to alleviate some of their stress, the children, but a lot of them looked like they were not being treated properly, and malnutrition and just abused. And I do remember a couple of times I would see a child with a sweater on in the summertime and when it was like 90 degrees, and they would not, show they would hide. It's hiding. So at this particular point in time in my life, I just got back into teaching again. I'm teaching grown folks, people my age. So I just had a class today that was leading up to something. So you guys have to stay with me with the teaching and how I got introduced to teaching. So now I'm teaching people, I'm 55, right? And it's different when you're 55 as opposed to when you're 20s. Your priority shifts, as you can see from my gray hair. At this stage of my life, at 55, I do not have fear. I'm embracing life, and I'm also embracing, and it's funny because now I'm gravitating towards women my age, and I'm really feeling the love and vibration. I want to thank you, Facebook, for actually my Facebook family, because we're on lockdown, and I haven't met too many people, and I'm a very social person. Facebook has allowed me to interact with other people, or just meeting people in the art field, and really teaching classes and stuff like that, and just really sharing information with each other, because it's tough. Because I'm a social person, I do gotta say I do suffer or deal with depression when I am not being social. There are times when I could be locked down to do my artwork, and art really saved me, because I know as a child I went through deep depressions, even to the point where suicide was definitely on the list. And I did come from a single parent home, so a lot of the things that I do because it keeps me sane, and it keeps me going in a positive vibration of love and healing. So I got to tell you, since I've been teaching these classes, and a lot of the people, a couple of people on Facebook been coming through, taking the classes, and we've been building a rapport, it has definitely uplifted my spirits, and it also helped me see people again, as far as seeing the light that man is basically good. Because left up to what's going on around the world racism, and I'm not saying racism don't exist. I don't live in a vacuum, but it's like it exists. But I want my energy, and I want to meet people who are vibing on a real love for life type of vibe. And I'm 55. I mean, I'm not dying anytime tomorrow, but I would like to interact with people who are engaging in life, that are is really looking forward to tomorrow and is enjoying today and really living life to the fullest with no fear. And we say with the self-help books, I've read Tony Robbins, I've read all kind of self-help books, but at the end of the day, it's your actions. It's not so much what you say, it's what you do. So for me today, and like my Saturdays has been uplifted. Every day I wake up on a Saturday, I'm so looking forward to teaching my classes. And what's so great about it is that these women don't even know me, and they've taken my first class, now they're taking my second class, and now they're taking my third class, and we're going into soldering pretty soon, like as far as silversmithing. And I got to tell you, I never had any children, but it feels damn good to give back to people, to share what you know with other people. And for years I hoarded information, which in the corporate world, it gave me the edge up. So I didn't want to share this information because I wanted to become, I wanted to have something as far as control. And that type of thing did not work for me. That's how I got the fibroids. Fibroids holding my body was from anger from childhood. The only thing that really saved me was the art, like creating, because left up to what was happening in my surroundings, it was very unhealthy. Very unhealthy. That's one of the reasons why I decided not to have children. I didn't want to bring any children in the world, a world that was not safe for children. And I can tell you stories about things not being safe for children. But one of the reasons why me as a black woman never had children is because I didn't want to bring anything into this world after what I've been through. That's the truth. That's the truth. I got to tell you, didn't want them. And I came from a single parent and wasn't really a healthy situation. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for creativity and art, that's why when you see my page, you'll see me doing crocheting, you'll see me doing jewelry, you'll see me doing painting. It's for me to escape reality. And also, being a teenager, being in your youth and not having proper guidance, drugs come into play. Kids are always looking for guidance. Even the toughest kid, I got to tell you, and I was one of those tough kids. I was really rebellious, that was just like running around rampant. If somebody gave me a hug and just held me and gave me a hug, that really broke my defenses. I got to tell you, it's nothing like a sincere, good hug when somebody says, I care about you. Because a lot of times when I was younger and growing up in the ghetto or growing up in with a single parent, people looked down at you. And just being on public assistance, people didn't think you had a future. And I was a statistic. I didn't have a lot of things. I never met my dad. So for me to be in a position that I am right now, glory be. Glory be. I got to tell you, there is a higher calling, because if it wasn't, I would have been dead a long time ago. And so with that being said, it is part of me at this journey at 55 to give back, because what I'm evolving and I'm going in another direction. So I can't take this with me where I'm going. So the reason why I'm teaching, and I really want to reach out to young people, is to take what I have and to really take it and run with it. Because I feel as a mother spirit, I have a womb, I'm a woman, and I'm feeling very nurturing as far as giving back to the next generation, so they could have something where they don't have to apply for a job from somebody. And it is important that we Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. But for us to keep going back asking people for a check or a stimulant check, where we our kids got to go out of our community to get a job, we can't hire our own people, that's a problem. That's a problem. That has always bothered me. And me as a woman of color, and just now the whole racism is coming out. Everybody's talking about, oh, this is racism and this is that. Even in England, I have family in Tottenham in England. So that whole thing is a big discussion, but racism has always existed. And I got to tell you, I really feel people don't respect us because we don't hold it down financially. We don't hold it down financially. We spend trillions of dollars in other people's community, but we don't take care of our own self. We don't have a place where, like, my nephew could go get a job and we stay in our own community. The Hasidic Jews got it locked down. They know the dollar travels 8 times around in their community. Black people, we just be spending money in everybody's community. And then when we come, to each other, by the grace of God, things are starting to change, because I do want to thank the sisters that have been taking my class. They didn't ask for a discount. A lot of times when we see somebody like, yo, brother, yo, sister, yo, like, can I get a discount on that? And I'm starting to really, my energy shifting. I'm starting to really gravitate, or people are starting to come into my vibration that respect what I'm bringing to the table. And it took a long time for me to come back home to my people, for us not to ask each other for discounts, and respect that the artist needs to eat too. You know what I mean? That we need to eat too. So I am just want to share how I'm blessed. Like, I woke up this morning, and just having your own business and you sleeping and you still making money while you sleeping. I hear cha-ching, cha-ching on Etsy. People paying for the class, taking the class. People want to, they want to follow and take more classes with me. They want private classes. They're even giving the classes that as gifts to other people. So, and it's people that look like me that's really paying for my service. And it took a long time. Took a long time. But it makes me feel good when I see people that look like me supporting my community, supporting me, because I am part of the community, so I can spend money back and give it back to the community. And and for people to say, and I've heard people say, well, oh, you don't think that's racist, that you just want to spend money in the black community? I think for me it's self-love, that I want to make sure that people that look like me continue to exist on the planet and we eat. So, with that being said, they don't ask Jewish people or anybody else, is it racist that you only date Jews, the Jewish dating line and this and that. And I respect that. Charity starts in the home. So for all those sisters that took my class and all those people that have been, supporting my business and supporting me, thank you. And I just want to say I appreciate you. And as far as your dollar is going in the right place, because I don't drink, I don't smoke weed. I basically come into my garden, I grow my food, pay my bills like everybody else, and just really, it's such a blessing before I leave the planet to be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? My people supported me, and for me to give back, take that money and spend it back in the community, so it's reciprocated. It's like, we all making sure that we all eat. If I eat, you eat. You know what I mean? So think about it. Think about that. Think about you. Think about your future. Think about the planet. And another thing where I extend it is that I don't, as you guys know, I'm vegan. And I know some of you say, oh, vegan, especially people my age, because we grew up on chitlins. Hog moss. And if you're Caribbean, blood, pork, we eat pig feet and everything. We eat souse and all kind of slave food. And a lot of us are still thinking like slaves. We eating that slave food, thinking like slaves, talking like slaves. And this is the time right now to free up yourself. And I am in a great position as far as a woman of color to really stand firm for my community and me. And it doesn't make sense, for some of us just saying Black Lives Matters and we going out there and we spending a fortune in somebody else's community and we talking about Black Lives Matter, but your dollar is not saying that. Because for me, it's not so much what you say, it's what you do. And if you say Black Lives Matter, it's a verb. It's like somebody saying I love you and they punching you in the face. There's no way you could love me if you whooping my backside, if you beat me up. So thank you for loving me. Thank you for opening your doors to me. Thank you for embracing my creativity. Thank you for acknowledging that I'm here, And thank you for loving yourself. By you supporting, it definitely it makes a positive outlook on yourself. So also, I'm also going to be teaching children classes. Now, a lot of you see my March schedule for classes. I'm going to be doing a waist bead class. Got to do the waist bead. Sisters, I know how you love to keep your sensuality going. So I'm going to be doing a waist bead class and a lot of you that don't know what waist beads are, it's the beads you put on your waist. I actually got one on right here. See, I got my waist beads on. I represent for my sensuality. You know what I mean? Got to keep it real. You got to, as a woman, you got to love up on yourself sometime. You know what I'm saying? You got to take care of yourself, get your nails and your feet done, and put some of them sexy beads on. Keep your vibration, your uterus energy, feminine principle. And I gotta say, it took me a long time to embrace my feminine energy. I spent years of my life embracing the male vibration of destruction, and just really control. Like really wanting to be that energy of just knocking people down, and that's lifting weights, like being a wannabe, bodybuilder and all that other stuff. And it was basically out of fear, because I gotta tell you, me being a woman in New York and going to the train station, I feared for my life many days. I got to tell you, because I used to work at the gym at Equinox, and I used to have to go to the gym and hey, baby, psst, psst, let me get your number. 5 o'clock in the morning, trying to get to work for 6. And there's a bunch of guys standing on the corner, and I'm a woman walking by myself. What do you think I'm thinking? I might not make it to the train station. This could be it for me. I might not make it home. And that was many a times me leaving my house to go to work 5 o'clock in the morning thinking, by grace of God goes I was saved. So as a woman, embracing my femininity at this stage of my life, and people who know you will tell you how I used to be when I was younger. I did not respect the feminine principle. I was angry at being a woman. I thought men had it together, and men was much more stronger. I believed, and watching my mom get beat up by her boyfriends, that might makes right. That if you punch somebody in the face, that's all you need to do, is to knock somebody out. And I grew up believing that, and I never respected the feminine softness of it. Everything was hard, that I actually messed up my uterus in the process of just being angry, and also just being angry at being a woman, thinking that women are less than. It took me 50 years to embrace my womb. 50 years, and by that time I had already had fibroids. One of the reasons why I became a vegan is because I had tumors. And tumors from just being angry at being a woman, and being angry at being a second-class citizen. Being angry at thinking that men had everything, men are stronger, they're this, they're that, and all of that and more. And so just walking around angry will give you cancer. It took me, that's why a lot of you guys think I'm corny when I do my meditation and I don't study war no more, because I've come to a conclusion that my feminine energy has saved my sanity and also saved my womb. I stopped putting male energy on a pedestal, and I stopped worshiping things that never served me. So even to say, well, God is a man, we're not even going to get into that, because I don't know how God could be a man and he don't have a womb. God is a woman, because women are the one that bear children. And so that whole just women being abused, watching my mom get abused from her boyfriends, and just thinking, I want to, instead of being a woman, I want to be the one, and it's crazy. I want to be the one that don't get abused. I'll be the abuser. So taking on that vibration of out of protection, denouncing my feminine energy and going straight into the male energy, and just really control, fight, control, made me sick. And then eating meat, killing, the vibration of death, always killing, eating dead flesh, consuming the flesh of another animal, killing, anger, killing, eating murder, blood. And so for me, being vegan is more than a fashion statement. It's a state of mind. And I know a lot of you guys thinking, oh, vegan is so you guys, you know, it's like an elitist, and some people do see it as an elitist, and to some people, I got to tell you, it's trendy. It's a fashion statement for them. But for me, it's for my mental stability and a way of life, and also to be the change that I want. If, like Gandhi said, if you want change, you have to be that change. So for me, I don't want to study war no more. I know things are happening around me, but I'm not buying into it. I'm not buying into it, because at this stage of my life, I've seen so much, and we spend a lot of time in fear. Oh, racism. Oh, and now I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but we spend the majority of our time being mentally attacked by fear. When you watch the news tell you stories. Then the political debate, you know, you got Biden, you got what's his name, Trump, and to me, both are the same. You know, both are the same. You're not really getting out of the matrix. You in the matrix. Then you got a black president. So, oh, you know, we got a black president, so he's different. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. You know. So don't get fooled by the semantics and the pretty words and the packaging. It's the same. The way you're going to get out of this situation is to save yourself, is to really go in, because the answers are not outside of you. You have everything you need inside of you. We have been sold a bag of goods on programming, on believing that this situation is our reality and there's nothing else left but this so-called reality. But you are creating your reality every day. You have the power to change. And that's powerful when you take your power back from your abuser. And I'm choosing to take my power back. And I'm choosing not to buy into certain concepts that's not mine. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, something is happening in the universe. We know that there's something happening. We can look around and we can feel it. People say that this is a new normal. Things are happening. And they want it to go back to the way it used to be. I don't want it to go back to the way it used to be. It wasn't good back then either. I want a world where everybody can live in peace. I don't need somebody telling me not to kill somebody. I don't need somebody telling me to be nice to somebody. It's another human being, so I'm going to be nice to them, unless they prove me wrong. It doesn't matter what color the person is. We have to really, and I know this is going to sound corny, when people say, oh, love is real. Love is real. And I'm telling you, it's love that saved me. It's the love of my feminine energy that saved me, because I was dying and I was living in a world that was dying. So for me, all I can say right now is take your life back. Go in, spend some time getting to know you. Spend some time loving yourself, loving up on yourself. Go take a bath, a bubble bath, love yourself, get to know who you are, appreciate who you are, and things will fall into place. But this is all just the shenanigans. It's all just a cloak and dagger. It's the Matrix. Until next time, guys, stay woke.